Let us start with our next lecture. We will revise that we have done in previous lecture. So we have seen female reproductive structures, internal genitalia, we have done with it. Today we are starting with external genitalia of female. So basically external genitalia of female having two major parts, or it can be divided into two categories. First is vulva and second is accessory glands. Vulva comprises of different regions: vestibule, labia minora, labia majora, clitoris, and mons pubis, while accessory glands such as Bartholin glands and mammary glands are involved. So let us discuss about external genitalia. First one, vulva, which includes vestibule, the median depression of vulva including urethral and vaginal opening; labia minora, a pair of thin folds inner to the labia majora at posterior end forkite, the point of attachment, a merging point of attachment of both labia minora and labia majora. Labia majora, a pair of fleshy foreskin, forms outer boundary of vulva, homologous to the scrotum, and protects the parts of vulva, while the clitoris, small sensitive projection lying anterior to the labia minora, and it has a pair of erectile tissue homologous to the corpora cavernosa, which is similar to the penis. Mons pubis, a fleshy elevation above the labia majora. Then we have discussed about the accessory glands, vestibular glands or Bartholin's glands. A Bartholin gland, a pair of glands homologous to the bulbourethral or Cowper's gland, opens into the vestibule, releases a lubricating fluid. And mammary gland, accessory organ, releases milk after parturition. Development occurs at the time of puberty and under the influence of estrogen and progesterone. Lactotrophic hormone LTH, prolactin, helps in developing of lactiferous tubules during pregnancy. A pair of rounded structure found in pectoral region around second to sixth rib. Mammary glands are the modification of sweat glands, contains of fatty connective tissue and latissiferous ducts. Glandular tissue of each breast divided into 15 to 20 mammary lobes. Each lobe consists of alveoli gland and lactiferous duct. Alveoli secretes and stores milk in the alveolar lumen, and this open into the vestibular mammary tubules. This mammary tubules then joins to form a mammary duct, and mammary duct forms a mammary ampulla which connected to the latissiferous duct. Next important topic is menstrual cycle. It's a feature of primates, that is a human, monkey and all. Involves a series of cyclic changes in female ovary and female reproductive system, mainly uterus. Changes occurs due to the gonadotropins and ovarian hormones, and cycles are repeated approximately around 28 days. At the middle point or at the mid junction, egg is released, and egg release alternately from one of the two ovaries. This cycle is divided into four different phases: menstrual phase, proliferative phase, follicular phase, ovulatory phase, secretory phase. Proliferative phase is also called as follicular or post-menstrual phase, and secretory phase is called as luteal phase. So let us start with the menstrual phase. Beginning of each cycle is taken as the first day where the menses or loss of blood takes place. Around 45 to 100 ml of blood loss takes place. It lasts for 5 days, and endometrium of uterus breaks down under the effect of prostaglandins. As it is released, it decreases the level of hormones such as progesterone and estrogen, and due to this, blood, tissue fluid, mucus, endometrial lining, unfertilized oocytes discharge through the vagina. Next is proliferative stage. As the name suggests, it increases the proliferation, or it helps in the proliferation of the follicles. So duration, ends of menstrual and release of ovum, 5th to 13th day it lasts after the menstrual cycle, uh, after menses, sorry. Very few secondary follicles proceed, but only one gets developed into graphene follicles. Others get degenerate, and this process of degeneration is called as atresia. And developing secondary follicles secretes estrogen, while the new follicle proliferation influences under GnRH, which releases FSH hormone. Next is ovulatory phase. Ovulatory phase, shortest phase of all, uh, usually takes place at the midpoint. It is around 14th day of menstrual cycle. Because of the rapid secretion of LH, the ovum is released. It is a ovulation takes place. During the ovulation, it may be accompanied by a mild or severe abdominal pain. Next phase is secretory phase or luteal phase. It's a phase between the ovulation and the beginning of next menses. It's the longest phase, around 14th to 28th day. After release of secondary oocytes, some remaining of tissue of graphene follicle transforms into corpus luteum under the effect of LH. Corpus luteum secretes a progesterone and estrogen. Ovulated egg may be get fertilized after 24 hours, or if not, it will just way off. However, in absence of fertilization, corpus luteum survive only for 2 weeks and then degenerate as a white scar or white body, which is called as corpus albicans. And corpus luteum releases progesterone and small amount of estrogen and inhibin. So, under the influence of above, endometrial glands grow coiled and uterine secretion starts. So, endometrium during this period again vascularize and inhibin stops the secretion of FSH. So, these are the important for fertilization and implantation. So, we have seen this growth phase, different phases of menstrual cycle. Menses, proliferative phase, ovulation, and secretory phase. Then we have discussed about the exercise. Our next topic is gametogenesis. Gametogenesis, the process in which the cell undergoes meiosis to produce gametes. In human beings, gametogenesis is of two types, spermatogenesis and oogenesis. Spermatogenesis, the formation of male gamete or sperm or spermatozoa from the germinal epithelium of testes, is called as spermatogenesis. It At the onset of puberty, hypothalamus secretes a hormone called as GnRH. It is a gonadotropin releasing hormone, and it initiates the increase of follicular stimulating hormone. It is a FSH, which induces spermatogenesis. So, germinal epithelium undergoes spermatogenesis to produce sperms, and it involves three different phases: multiplication phase, growth phase, and maturation phase. So, first is multiplication phase, where the primordial germ cell of seminiferous tubule undergo repeated mitotic division and produces spermatogonia. Each spermatogonium is diploid, it is a 2n, and during growth phase, it stops dividing and grows in size by the accumulation of food. Now, during maturation phase, what happens here? It involves a meiotic or reduction division. So, spermatocyte undergoes first meiotic division and forms two haploid cells, and second, there is nothing but secondary spermatocytes with the 23 chromosome of each. Now, secondary spermatocyte after second meiotic division produces four haploid spermatids which are non-motile, but after metamorphosis it changes from spermatozoa to the sperm, which is a motile one, and this sperm remain attached to the Sertoli cell. The Sertoli cells are the nourishment tissue, the sperm tail hanging in the lumen of seminiferous tubule, and during this spermatids increases in size and mitochondria become spirally coiled and acrosome is formed from the Golgi complex. Then we have done the structure of sperm. Male gamete, motile one, microscopic, has a three main parts: head, middle piece, and tail. We have seen this part. Next is oogenesis. Again, same procedure. Oogenesis having three different stages: multiplication, growth, and maturation. In multiplication phase, the primary germinal cell of ovary undergo repeated mitotic division, forms a million of gamete mother cell or oogonial cell, and this takes process is completed in the embryonic stage of human female. Growth phase, some of oogonia stop division, begin to increase in size and forms primary oocytes. Cellular organelles like Golgi apparatus and mitochondria increases in number. And in maturation phase, oogenesis process, which takes place in the ovary, which is initiated from prior to the birth of female baby. Now here the primary oocyte enters into the maturation phase, that is the myo 1 and myo 2, and diploid primary oocyte divides by the meiosis 1, forms two haploid daughter cells. But due to unequal division of cytoplasm, two cells are formed which are unequal, and bigger cell is called as secondary oocyte while the smaller one is called as polar body. Normally, polar body doesn't enter into the meiosis 2, and secondary oocyte enters into meiosis 2 and stops at metaphase 2. So secondary oocyte shed off from the graphene follicle and ovary and restart and complete its procedure only with the entry of sperm. So the last phase complete in the ampulla of fallopian tube at the time of fertilization. Again, two cells are formed, ovum and polar body. Ovum function as a female gamete and ready for the fertilization after meo2, and the meo2 and fertilization goes hands in hand, and if fertilization do not occur, the secondary oocyte shed off during the menstruum. This was the questions that we have discussed in our lecture.